contact for Tanner, but if you do it and Mark Anthony says, hey, I want to call Tanner and have a discussion because I think I know some great people. If there's no phone number, no way to do it. They won't look. People are just getting very short on what they want to do these days. So at least if they have that, that's good. Give them everything else you want to give them is just fine. And I encourage you, as I do everyone on the call, reach out to everyone. Even if you think you have no need for what it is that Bonnie Mae does, please reach out to her because you don't know that your next best client isn't somebody that Bonnie Mae knows and you don't. So you want to make sure that you guys are always working together with each other. So with that said, I am going to, again, for those that don't know what the question of the day is, what recent show have you been binge watching? This ought to be interesting so we can get some great insight into what you guys like. And with that said, I'm going to introduce all of you to Tess Booker. Tess Booker is one of our speakers today. She's part of some of my specialty groups. I always love to show off those people in those groups because those are not only my clients, but they are highly motivated, very, very good people. So Tess Booker, the next 5 minutes are yours.
Thank you, Lynn. This is just a pleasure to be here with all of you guys. I'm out of San Diego. I'm going to go ahead and answer that first question. I'm not a binge watcher necessarily, but my husband and I do sit down and weekly just keep up on shows. We are watching Watson. That's like it's fun. Anyways, it's a medical mystery show. All right. I am an author, I'm a speaker, a coach, and a facilitator of emotional intelligence and the power of its clarity. I'm the founder of Inspired Living. I host Brilliant Minds and Beautiful Souls podcast, and I work directly with healers, practitioners, conscious, mindful creators, and experts who are deeply committed to helping others. But what I find is we often, as these mindful, creative experts, we get stuck in quiet, exhausting cycles of self-sabotage and this mediocrity feeling of dissatisfied and operating in less than full of our soul's purpose and alignment. So that's what I found in over these 25 years of business, that over many cultures, corporate leaders, entrepreneurs, is we all have these underlying emotions and they haunt us and they tantalize us. And as we go about trying to prove ourselves, whether we're good enough or spiritual enough, we're qualified enough or worthy enough. So here's the thing, that proving isn't always obvious. It shows up as over-explaining, undervaluing your service, holding you back from your service, or giving without letting, and giving without letting anything back in. That's not a natural flow. That's a sign of survival. So when you're stuck in this survival, you block your capacity to receive, whether it's money or joy or rest or being fully seen. This is where I have created a shadow assessment. And the reason I've done this is for emotional reset, to reclaim, to realign, and to rise. It's an assessment that helps you identify the unconscious patterns or those shadows that might be luring in the background. It's like the fixer, the performer, the critic, the avoider. We all have these, and it's not wrong. But what I've learned is it's there to keep you safe. So once you can name your emotions and you can assess the body and the mind at the same time, you can stop being trapped by your emotions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and shift from proving into presence, from defense into receiving. So this sounds really simple, but it's an antidote to proving yourself. However, my question to you, if it's so simple, then why do we feel disconnected from our own pure confidence and confusion that entails us in being selfish or warped in our sense of worthiness? So how does this work to get this help around this emotional intelligence that we all have? I am now offering it for a limited time. I'm offering a powered pack mastermind session weekly for 15 minutes. Taken the emotional reset, reclaim, and rise assessment. Every week, I'm going to reveal one of those inner shadows, and we're going to go through the hidden patterns the sabotage progress. So you're going to spot your beliefs, your understanding your feelings and your effects on you and others. You're going to trace the origins. And most importantly, you're going to shift your alignment into your personal power. So if you're feeling that yes, then I want to invite you to join and take that assessment. You'll see it in the link. And check out the podcast on K-Fred Radio, because that also houses a bunch of this unraveling of emotional intelligence to stop proving and start receiving. So thank you guys for listening to me, because you're here to serve endlessly. You're here to receive and to grow and to thrive from the inside out. So thanks for doing the work that you do and being open for a new way.
Thank you so much, Tess. Can you want to tell them how they can reach you, and when is your radio show on?
So my radio show goes out on Fridays, every Friday at 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. You'll see 2 episodes back to back there. And then my weekly thing is on Tuesdays at 9:30 if you want to put in your calendar, but you can register in the link in my calendar is there to register for that or that mastermind after you've taken the assessment, of course. It's really for those who've taken the assessment.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we're going to continue with some introductions. So I'm going to jump to Dawn Tellinghusen. Dawn, talk to us.
Hey, hi everybody. Lynn, thanks so much for doing this. And my name is Dawn Tellinghusen. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm an independent Avon ambassador for 42 years. You can reach me through my phone number, 248-408-5833, or you can go to my bit.ly, which I'll have in the chat. But I've got a question for you today. As summer approaches, are you protecting yourself and your family from what, you say? Well, what comes out in the summertime and is very annoying to everyone? Yes, it's that nasty mosquito. Right. Do you use DEET to protect yourself? I hope not, because DEET can be very harmful to your health or any other chemicals that are out there. But guess what? Avon has something that is DEET-free, chemical-free, and it's all plant-based. Skin So Soft Bug Guard. These are the 2 aerosols. One is Expedition that has your SPF 28 in it. So you got your sunscreen in there as well as protecting you from the bugs. The other silver one is what we call our silver bullet, which is the Bug Guard with picaridin. And this one is the strongest. Use it late at night, early morning when they're the worst. But not just mosquitoes, fleas, deer ticks, fleas, no-see-ums, gnats. Protection from all of them by just using this. The aerosol, like I said, are those 2. We have a family size pump that comes with its sprayer, and for the kitties, because you want to make sure you got everything covered, we have lotion. And this lotion has got your SPF 30 in it, bugs and sunscreen, 1 application. So, are you protecting yourself with the right ingredient from the mosquitoes? You can message me if you're local to Indianapolis, which most of you aren't. I do keep this in stock, but just go right to my online store. Avon has stocked up on this. We're ready for the summer. Are you ready for the summer? I hope so.
Excellent.
What recent show have we been watching? Well, I don't know if this is called binge watching, but we're really into the show 911. The season is about to end. Our favorite firefighter, died. Everyone was in tears. But there's still a couple more shows in the season. My husband thinks it was all a dream, but I laugh at him. Anyway, that's what we've been, whether or not we see the show when it's on that night or not, we, save it in YouTube and we go back and watch numerous ones of those when we're busy and we can't get there every Thursday night or whatever night it's on. So that's kind of our big hooked on 911 right now.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Guys, make sure you get some of that stuff. It's really good. And I'll tell you, it has a nice, pleasant smell.
Yes.
Some of those things smell awful, but this smells very pleasant. So thank you very much, Dawn. Bonnie Mae, you are up.
Hello there. Well, good morning, everybody from the Canada lands. I know it's afternoon for some of you folks, but I am in British Columbia, and I'm just kind of at second breakfast time here. So my name is Bonnie Mae. I work as a life and a business coach, and I support business owners in aligning with their wealth and abundance and getting into alignment with what it is and who it is that they are here to work with. And my favorite tool that I use, and that is human design. So, what is human design? I probably haven't talked about it enough here. It really is the blueprint to your soul. So we've all done those personality tests, the color ones and I think some of them are called Briggs and something. Anyways, those are all done with your mind. So this one is actually, it's your blueprint from exactly from when you were born. So it gives you the clues to what your purpose is, how to market to your clients, what the vibe of your tribe is, and what kind of leader you are. So, for example, some leaders are role models. Some leaders are meant to be like the corporal or the general who doesn't dine with his troops. They're meant to be that authority figure out front. So it gives you all of that information to be able to get into alignment so that when you're working your business, and it makes a difference in your relationships with your family, your husbands, your spouses. Certainly has in our house, as I understand my husband a whole different level now, why he operates the way that he does. So I work with people to drip that human design information on them so they can take it and put it into their life. I say take it to the battlefield of your life, whether that be you start with your relationships or you start with your business, but ultimately it all gets you into alignment so that you're flowing abundantly. So that's what I do. I'll put my information in the chat if you want to connect.
Excellent. Do you want to tell us what you're binge watching?
We're binge watching Suits. We're way behind.
Excellent. So guys, if you haven't had a talk with Bonnie Mae, do it. It'll be very enlightening and it will be very enjoyable time. So relax, get yourself something that you like to drink and make that call or get her on a Zoom and you will have a great time. Thank you so much, Bonnie Mae.
Thanks, Lynn. You're my favorite.
Yay! Elizabeth, everybody get prepared to be relaxed. Elizabeth's voice just calms you down.
Oh, it's all about the frequency, right? And how we feel within ourselves. Hi, everybody. And thank you, Lynn. It's good to see all of my faves and meet some new people too. I'm so glad to be here. I'm Elizabeth Gifford Maffei. I am in Central Florida, but I do work worldwide. And I work to help people release trauma. That's not the only thing that I do, but I do it in many different ways. I'm an intuitive, a life coach, Reiki master. I work in the angelic realm as well, numerology. Very, very goes very well in hand with human design. I love human design too. So Bonnie Mae, great to have you here too. And trauma, when we have very strong emotions, it can get implanted at the cellular level. So, for example, your spleen is on the left side past your stomach. That is worry. So when you're worrying about something, it gets implanted in the spleen. Or if you're angry or frustrated, on the right-hand side of your body, it gets implanted in your liver. And if it stays there, it can create stress, toxicities, and things that are not good for the body. So I work in the energetic field to help people release that. I can feel where people are struggling before they even know it and help them to get back to the root source. I also utilize these beautiful little patches that are holistic, put nothing in the body, but they elevate your own master cells to help to clear the body, to elevate it, and to help give the body what it needs, which is just strength and energy to heal itself because we were made so beautifully. You can reach me at any time, 321 303 8649, and they send out lots of love and blessings to all of you. Thank you.
And what are you binge watching?
So we go from crazy to crazy. We'll watch Vikings and then we'll watch, history. And then, so the last thing that we just finished watching was called The Resident. And that is about the medical field. And I thought it's not medical center, and most of you don't know what that is, but it was really it was really forward moving. It was really in these times and what is going on behind the scenes in the hospitals and care and things like that. So we just finished watching The Resident. Thanks.
Interesting. Okay, guys, I got a bit of news for all of you. How many of you know the new Pope was already selected? Do all of you know that the new Pope is originally from Chicago?
Husband just said that in the background.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I didn't know it. It's a
I
news
don't
to
know
me.
we ever had a Pope that originally started out in the United States, but
Yeah, I don't think we've
I
had
don't know
an
anything
American
about
from the
who
US.
it is. I just heard that. Interesting. Okay, Mark. Oh, no, Mark Anthony, I'm hanging on to you for a minute. So, Jaya, Dr. Jaya, we're going to have you go up next. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm Jaya Kasturi, a board certified internist. I've been a physician for decades and living in Naperville, Illinois. Actually, I think my fate brought me here. And I've been very successful in my practice. But 30 years ago, I started integrating functional medicine in my office because I was not very happy with just the Western medicine. And I came across, it was my fortune that about 7 years ago, I came across the most scientifically made product in the field of health and wellness. We all have lot of supplement companies, many of them. We keep on taking several vitamins and all, but ultimately they have not done much. Even taking lot of antioxidants orally by making juices and all, it has not made much difference in our uh, quality of life as well as the quantity of life. So this doctor who discovered the presence of antioxidants in our cells went ahead and did a research to bring out one product made of natural compounds to reduce our oxidative stress in our cells. You know, oxidative stress is the important cause for inflammation and chronic diseases, several 200 chronic diseases, including cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. So that we have one product, which is a flagship product, but the concept is different. We are activating our own genes through different pathways. So we are not doing supplementation, but we are activating our own genes to work for us, which can do a better job. We make our own collagen, we make our own GLP-1 product. Not only this GLP-1 is great to reverse diabetes, but I have seen my own blood work. My total cholesterol came down from 167 to 144. I didn't have to reduce my cholesterol, and I'm in great shape. If you want to know, my age is 86. I work out 2 hours a day, and my work is my day is full of things. I don't look for any binge watching, period. I don't want to be stuck to the TV watching anything. I'm a person who wants to read scientifically or see something, attend some talks by doctors, those kind of things. So I really do not watch much of binge watching.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So I'm going to introduce you to one more of our speakers before I come back to Keith Robinson. So I'm going to go to Deanna Brakefield. Deanna is our resident everything. She is absolutely incredible at what she does. She is in our specialty groups as well. So Deanna, the floor is yours for the next 5 minutes.
Awesome. So who wants to talk about marketing today? Because I definitely don't. I am Deanna Brakefield, the owner of Lionheart Kingdom Marketing. And even though I do marketing as my day-to-day thing, we all know it is boring. So if you have any questions about your personal marketing, yes, Fred, I did steal that from you. Please feel free to schedule a one-on-one with me. It's a great use of a 30-minute coffee chat to just come and have a quick conversation. Otherwise, I'd love to talk about neurodivergent news today. So that is a term that is still being thrown around, and some people don't know what it means, neurodivergent. And in a nutshell, it just means you process the world just a little bit different. It doesn't mean damaged, it just means different. So over the next few weeks, we are going to have some really interesting topics going on our panel discussion. You can find us on kfred.com. We are live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. This week, we're actually going to have the amazing Carol Wilson on with us, who is just the neuro-spicy spice rack of life, if you will. We're going to be talking about, our topic is not silent, just ignored. And so what that means is in the neurodivergent community, you know, a lot of us are screaming. We're throwing our voices out into the void, and we're just not getting that interaction, that engagement that we're looking for. And we're being ignored because up until the last decade or so, we have been the quiet demographic hiding in the background, not demanding our rights. Well, that time is over. If you know someone who is neurodivergent, and that's ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dysgraphia, there are dozens of conditions that fall under this umbrella. Go and have a conversation with them today. Just check in with them. Give them a hug, but not really. Like, don't actually hug them. You'll make them crazy. But let them know that you care about them, because sometimes that's all it takes to change somebody's day and to change the world. And that is what we are doing on Neurodivergent News. We are changing the world by putting one voice at a time out there. So I hope y'all will join us on Sunday. It should be an interesting listen. And I am from Birmingham, Alabama. If y'all couldn't tell from the accent, the show that I've been binge watching is The Rookie. I love me some Nathan Fillion ever since the days of Firefly. I cannot get enough of that man. And the concept of The Rookie is a 45-year-old becomes a rookie in the California Police Department is hysterical. I love it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Excellent. So on to our next introductions. We're going to run down to Keith Robinson. Hold on to your socks.
What's wrong with everyone's socks when I'm speaking? Greetings to everybody. Keith coming in from Ireland, and heavily involved in the health space. I think most of you here know me. I've had a couple of great one-to-ones with people here over the last couple of weeks. And I'm on a mission to save as many lives as possible. There's a huge amount of illness and sickness out there at the minute. If you ate a plate of salad 50 years ago and you want the same level of nutrition today, you really have to sit down and eat 47 plates of salad. There's very little nutrition left in the food we're eating. So this is why the body is not capable of dealing with everything that's thrown against it. We're bombarded with more poisons than ever before. So really the body is designed to heal itself, it's designed to repair itself, it's designed to do so much. But how in the name of creation is it able to do that if it hasn't got the fuel it needs? We are also not making enough nitric oxide, so therefore we clog up our arterial system with plaque. The more plaque we clog up our arterial system with, the more difficult the vascular system has in getting the blood flow through that narrowing arterial system. And this causes a raise in cholesterol. It causes a raise in blood pressure. The only reason generally blood pressure is going up because the body's trying to get blood flow through. But the spacing to get it through has gone so small, the body has to rise it up to such a high pressure to get it through. And then the organs and glands that are looking for that blood flow are satisfied because the pressure is working up here, but then medication has come in. No, don't do that. Go back down here. And then you have to then you're starving back down that supply to the organs and glands that were looking for it. So really the system that has been used at the minute is not helping people. And taking part in medical experimental gene altering injections was never a clever thing to do. And there's a huge amount of damage from that. But there are things that can be done. And I was listening to a YouTube video of Dr. John Campbell in the UK, who was interviewing a Dr. Tess, I can't remember her second name, or Tina. And she's having massive success using augmented N-acetylcysteine to break up spike proteins. So I thought that was great information. It said it breaks the spike proteins into 6 parts. And once it's broken into 6 parts, the body will expel it. But as she explained in the video, if you're breaking it up, that's fine. But if your body's been instructed to keep manufacturing more spike proteins, you have to continue with a roadblock. So the 2 roadblocks I'm aware of is nicotine and augmented N-acetylcysteine anyway. So look, these are things everyone needs to know about and take that control for themselves. So this is what I do all the time, educate and support. And I'll gladly spend time with anyone that would like to spend time. Thanks.
Wonderful. And what are you binge watching?
I don't actually binge watch, but one series that I really liked, and I'm hoping there will be another series part of it, is The Blacklist. I really liked The Blacklist when it was on the go.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Keith. Bobby Bennett, we are always excited to hear from you.
Thank you, Lynn. My name is Bobby Bennett. I am a certified financial planner, and I essentially help people manage the 6 areas of financial planning, which are cash flow management, your typical budget, investment planning, retirement planning, tax planning, insurance planning, and estate planning. Recently, I was helping an individual just with his investments. That's all he wanted to talk about. But because I try to take a comprehensive look at everything, I uncovered that he was planning on purchasing a long-term care insurance policy, costing him about $13,000 annually. Now, I'm not against long-term care insurance in the right situation, but for his situation, he had more than enough assets to cover any type of long-term care event that would happen. Plus, he doesn't have any heirs, so he doesn't necessarily need to leave any certain amount of money behind. I showed him on the software that I use that he has more than enough assets to cover any type of long-term care event, which in turn essentially saved him over $13,000 annually. So those are the types of things that I can help people with, not just increasing your investment returns, but also potentially saving you dollars that you don't necessarily need to be spending. Again, my name is Bobby Bennett. I'm a certified financial planner. I am based out of Connecticut, but I can help anybody in any of the 50 states. Thank you. Oh,
wonderful to have somebody looking out for you like that, who knows that area of business so well that they can advise you on not making a purchase that couldn't benefit you so much.
Right, absolutely. So I'm kind of, yeah, so I'm kind of with the rest of the people here. I don't necessarily binge watch too many shows, but my son and I do like to watch Beat Bobby Flay and get some ideas for cooking off the show and try to, implement them in real life.
How old is that son of yours?
12.
Good time to get him start working the grill.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Bobby. Tanner, welcome. It's our first time to meet you, so everybody's curious. Who is Tanner? Where's he from? And what does he do? So please help us out.
No, thanks. I'm really already impressed by a lot of your guys' different businesses and how you guys can support each other. I would say to start with the show, I don't know if anyone's ever watched Silo, but my wife and I, we've been watching that a little bit, and that's been pretty good. I don't watch TV as much as in the summertime, but wintertime, I always like to back pocket a few. So I actually took a few notes on some the ones you guys were saying, but a bit about me. My name's Taryn Wood. I'm about 2 hours west of Chicago in a tiny little town called Sterling, and I work completely virtually. And very simply, I help coaches and creatives get clients. That is my sole mission. That's really when it's funny. I remember when I was really young, my grandma used to always tell me the greatest gift you can give is one that you really want for yourself. And as a kid, I said, okay, grandma. But now, as like I'm getting into business and stuff, and I transitioned from real estate into the coaching space, and I still do real estate, but trying to grow my coaching business, I was like, there's a lot of coaches. I really enjoy this one-on-ones, but like, what can I really offer? And it's like, what do I want more than anything? And I wanted someone, a friend who's going to work in the trenches with me week in and week out. I don't want any more tutorials or guides or tips. I want someone just working in the trenches with me and is going to help me get clients. Like, I want people who pay, and I want people who are like serious but doing that hard work. I'm a big believer in less softwares, less AI, and just doing the fundamentals. And that might not be super fun, but hopefully that's where I can come in and help make the fundamentals a little more fun. If you struggle with anything, whether it's making videos, whether it's just reaching out to the people, hosting the events, anything you need help with in our meetings, we're going to get it done. And I like to tell my clients to save the hardest thing, the pain in the butts for our meetings, and we'll just dive right in. So really, if you know any coaches, solopreneurs, people who work by themselves, work from home, just like me, I'm looking for more friends in the space and people, coaches and creatives who want to get more clients. And I have a really good system, I think, that I'm following that can help guarantee clients or you don't pay. So if you know any coaches or creatives, that's really who I'm looking to partner with, because that's who I've had the most success with. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanner. We're very glad you're with us, and we hope you stick with us. It's really continuity that makes the difference here. When they see your face once and you never come back, not good. Nobody's going to work with you. But when they see your face repeatedly, people know they can trust you, and opening the door to the contacts that they have is very good. I want you to pay attention to the chat. I am going to put some information in. I do have 4 specialty groups that some of the people on here belong to. One is health and wellness. One is insurance and financial professionals. Another is for small businesses. And one is for coaches. And we are working on an intuitive group and an authors group. So I think that maybe that coaches group might be something you'd be interested in very much. So thank you. We hope to see you back here again with us. So I'm going to run to Ann Mackey. We are so happy Ann Mackey is back here with us again today.
I've just been running around and have not been able to join in here for a long time. So it's good to see so many familiar faces and the new ones as well. So I'm Ann Mackey. I'm out of Wichita, Kansas. And I don't know how much you guys know about visceral fat. Does everybody know what that is? Visceral fat. That is the fat that gathers around your organs, around your stomach. And Dr. Ray Stanley talks about that being killer fat. And it is killer fat because it actually, over time, causes all kinds of additional health problems like heart problems and cancer and diabetes and stroke. So it's a really big issue. And a lot of people strive to lose that visceral fat around their weight. waist and their hips and all of that, but they can't do it. And what I have discovered for myself personally, after being stuck for 30 some years, not really losing weight, no matter what I tried, it's about your hormones. Very often it's the hormones out of whack that need to be balanced. So I'm an advocate for holistic wellness, and I sell products that are all natural, holistic, and the drops that are called skinny drops, their nickname out there, it's going viral around the world in over 50 countries, but it causes your body, you put drops under your tongue, hold it for 10 seconds, swallow, do that before your meals, and it starts to naturally balance your hormones with no chemicals or anything unnatural. And then your body begins to lose weight and get rid of that visceral fat. So I've lost almost 30 pounds. I have 7 inches off my waist, 6 inches off my hips, and I feel better than I have felt in years. So if you're interested, I do best with text. So text me, let me share information with you. But anyone you know, especially women 40 and above, but men as well, it's time to get healthy as we're aging, because it only gets worse from here if we don't attack this problem now. So I am loving both the company, the culture, the everything about this, the lifestyle and the weight loss that I'm gaining from a company called Partner Co. I just love it. So let me know if you have any questions. And by the way, free shipping this week, by the way, so get with me right away if you happen to someone who's interested, or a chiropractor's office or spa or salon. They all love sharing these as well. I'm sorry, Lynn, what was your question?
And what are you binge watching?
You know what? We turned off all television service about 7 years ago. We decided it was all bunk, so we didn't want to watch any more of the garbage. And but what we do watch sometimes is through an iPad or the computer, and they have been taking a hiatus. They're now back, I think, with season 5. But I love The Chosen, which is a Christian series. A series that is just
I've seen
wonderful.
some thumbs up. Some of these people like that as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Keith, you have your hand up.
Yeah, and you were a bit slow when she said, what do you like binge watching? You should have said the scales.
Ah, there you go. That would have been a perfect response.
Okay, that's a good one, Keith. You got it.
So
Excellent.
quick-witted.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm going to run to another one of my speakers real quick. I'm going to go to Mark Anthony Arena. He is so busy that we're just lucky we can ever get a hold of him. So Mark Anthony Arena, the next 5 minutes are yours.
Sorry, I've been away. I missed all of you, and I went to Gene Kuhn's conference about a month ago, and that was amazing. It was like even more amazing than I expected, and the food was good, and I learned a lot. Everything was substantive, and the fact that she has the success panel. You know, the last day she had these people get up there and attest to the fact that she brought them success. She let me speak for a while. That was a blast. And the hotel pool was awesome. And then my cousin happened to need me to help him move while I was in Chicago. So I finished Gene's event, went to my cousin's, helped him move, had a blast. The thing I'm binge watching lately, usually I just watch church on my TV, but I've been watching Mystery Diners. And it's like this late 2000s, early 2000s show. It's so cheesy, but it's the best thing ever. It's a cross between Undercover Boss and Gordon Ramsay. So they put cameras in the restaurants and they show the employees doing treacherous things, and it's hysterical. So my brother and I are obsessed with that. Okay, here's your tech tip for the day. And by the way, you can, if you haven't already, you can listen to the Elizabeth Gifford Maffei episode of my show. I put the link up in the chat, and it was phenomenal. And just, yeah, make sure you listen to it. Everyone should listen to it. Mark Anthony Arena, thecomputerexorcist.com, by the way. And I'm near Niagara Falls, and here we go. So, what are we doing about that pop-up? If you get that pop-up that says Windows 10 is going out of support, does that mean your computer's going to explode or that Microsoft's going out of business? By using the magic word support, people are led to believe they will be exposed to threats if they don't immediately abandon the machine and purchase a new one. How convenient. People have more important things to worry about and don't care what they have to pay, so as long as they can keep working. And the industry knows this. The term out of support actually means the company doesn't feel like answering calls regarding that product anymore. And the company will no longer send out update attacks to that product, which is actually a great thing because then the machine remains more stable from then on and doesn't slow down. And in most cases, you have a few years before you have to worry about any kind of technical limitations. So if you're infected with Windows 10, you've got another 5 years at least before you have to worry about your browser saying too bad for you. And even at that point, you can update to Windows 11 for free. Don't let some scumbag tell you it's $250. You're entitled to a free update anyway. Even if the machine says, I had a guy the other day, 1 year old computer, he brought it to Best Buy and they said, sorry, your computer's a year old and it doesn't comply with Windows 11. First of all, it does comply. Second of all, even if it doesn't, it's very easily bypassed. Those evil arbitrary compliance rules are easily bypassed by everyone ever. So if you're sick of the Microsoft circus, by the way, we can mint your computer, which means take it away, rip out all the Microsoft treachery, and put Mint on there, which bulletproofs it so you can no longer have any security issues or any chaos anymore. It just works, it leaves you alone. It's only meant for residential users, not business people. But there is absolutely no need for all of the suffering. So all of this support stuff is a cash grab scandal. It's a beautiful way to get people to stop using perfectly good products, and in reality, the computer will function just fine. So get this. Microsoft and the industry make a few bucks on each person, this arbitrary cash grab scandal will cause an estimated 400 million PCs to end up in a landfill. So raise your hand if you care about the environment and if you care about saving money. If so, warn people about this, tell them they got at least 5 years, and even then you can update to Windows 11, or you can mint the machine, and then you'll just never have a problem ever again, and your wallet and the landfills will thank you.
We have so many people on these calls that have used Mark Anthony Arena to help them with their computer issues, and it has been incredible. When I first met him, I remember him saying, I sell myself out of clients because once he takes care of something for you, you'll be hard pressed to need him again. But I will tell you, if your computer is running slow, if you've got all kinds of issues, reach out and talk to Mark Anthony because everybody that I talk to loves Mark Anthony. So thank you, Mark Anthony, for all the wonderful work that you do to help everyone.
Thank you for all your encouragement. The first time I came on here, you said, Mark Anthony Arena, I've never heard anyone like you. You better be one of my speakers. And that gave me a lot of encouragement.
Now he's everywhere. Now he's all around the country. He's just everywhere. We can't get him here all the time anymore. But if you look, hopefully he's put his information in the chat. Mark it down, put it in your phone, and it doesn't matter whether he's here or not. You can still find him. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mark Anthony. So, Colleen, before I come to you, I never remembered it last week. I think I completely forgot to tell you guys about what I do. And then I apologize. I did have an issue last week at the end of the call. I kind of dropped early from the call. I had a problem with my husband taking a fall, and that was not good. And he ended up in the hospital again. But he has promised me he's not moving this week, and he better not be moving around, and then I won't worry about it. So anyway, guys, I normally share a story with you guys about how someone has used Legal Shield or ID Shield. That's a better way for you guys to understand than to give you a list of all the different features that they have. So I have a gentleman who has a truck, drove to a Home Depot store. He works with his truck, drove to Home Depot. It had a big rainstorm, and the maintenance of the parking lot was not very good. And he hit a very large pothole. It was filled with rain, so he didn't know the pothole was there. And it really messed his truck up very bad. And so he checked out what the amount of damage was to the truck, and he went back to the Home Depot to speak to the manager and let them know about it. And he said the store manager was very dismissive and very rude to him. And the store manager said, if it was such a big pothole, why didn't you see it? Well, he didn't expect that because obviously it was filled with rain, so that didn't go good. And he told him that there was a substantial suspension damage to his vehicle, and he showed them what the damage was. And they said, well, we'll send someone out to fix the pothole. He said, okay, I'm happy about that, but what are you going to do about the damage to my vehicle? And they said, well, we'll talk to the insurance company. So 2 weeks later, not a word from any insurance company or the Home Depot, and he finally got upset, He called Legal Shield. Legal Shield got involved in the whole thing. They asked for the store's insurance company. They contacted them. They gave the estimated repair estimates to the insurance company, and he got a check for $785.97 within 3 days of having Legal Shield reach out. So I am positive that he felt that his investment of a small monthly fee was enough to cover that if he didn't get anything else done for the year, but he did get many, many other things taken care of. So guys, it's just a matter of everyday issues come up in your life. You don't have time sometimes to get into long extended arguments and the frustration that you deal with to try to be able to get these things fixed. So much better, hand it to an attorney and let them take care of it. No bill for you because you paid for your monthly service. So I'm a little embarrassed to tell you guys what I've been binge watching, because my husband always says, why do you watch these cuckoo shows that you watch? But I like them because I need something lighthearted sometimes. So I used to catch episodes of Big Brother every now and then. Remember Big Brother? I don't even know if it's still on now. But I didn't consistently see it every year. And so I went back on my TV and I looked to see if I could find out how many years it's been on. I was shocked. It's starting its 26th year of shows. So I said, well, I'm going to go back and start watching from the beginning. If I find one that I've already seen, I'll skip it. My husband said, you're going to go back 26 years and watch this garbage? I said, yeah, I am. And I said, these people, like, you get them all locked up in that house. They're all fighting with each other. They're stabbing each other in the back. It's not the kind of people I hang out with. So I like to watch. It's like going to the zoo. So I kind of like to watch them. So I'm on the 21st year. I really zoomed through them. I did it whenever I was exercising. It was a great way to get through the exercise. So 21 years. I only got a few more years to go, and then I can go watch another cuckoo show. So with that said, let me go back to some of my introductions. So Colleen Stubbs, you are up.
Hello, hello. I am Colleen Stubbs of the Balanced Life CEO, and I help midlife women build online businesses they're madly passionate about. I take them from concept, just an idea they might have, to full-blown business. And I recently added a CRM platform to my toolbox, and so I am super excited about that. I love all things techie like that, so this has been fun to build out. And as a bonus, I am going through a beta round. So if you know anybody that has a business that needs CRM management, that needs emails, email sequences, landing pages, marketing funnels, anything like that, I'm doing it right now. I'm signing on the next 4 customers at $150 a month, opposed to $297 a month. And that price will stay for the attorneys. It won't go up. And I do already have other people that have signed on that. So I'm excited about that. Please let all your friends know. That can be solopreneurs. It can be bigger businesses. It can be people who are tired of going from just jumping through their tech stack and duct taping things together. You know, when you're going to one place to do your emails and another to create a landing page or a funnel, we can put this all together in one place. You can have all of your messaging and everything just on one platform. And if you know anybody that can use my services, please share my information. I dropped it in the chat. And I'm just going to surprise y'all. I've only ever binge watched 2 shows in my life. We have TVs galore, but we don't ever turn them on. That 70s show was probably my favorite, right? And I love that. And as a matter of fact, for Christmas one year, I bought the copies of it for all my kids. Because I would watch that with them back when that was playing on the regular. That was our thing. And then the Gilmore Girls. So nobody said that yet, but I really love Luke and Laura Lee. And so I love the Gilmore Girls. And what else? I'm from the Ozarks in Missouri, South Central Missouri.
Excellent, Colleen. Thank you so very, very much. Alyssa, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elisa St. George. I'm here in Southern Connecticut. We have some people on here that have some incredible products, and Elizabeth and I both share the LifeWave technology, wellness technology, and we can both attest to the life-changing results that we've had. But I also focus on working with women like me. So wellness to some people is siloed, right? They think of physical wellness, but really wellness is a complete and optimal state of physical and emotional and mental health overall, right? And so I have found the most incredible opportunity here for community and for growth and transformation in my life. And I would like to be inspirational to other women like me. I worked in the corporate world for quite a long time. I woke up during COVID, my entire priority list changed. I could not go back to that old life. I had changed. And in the past 18 months, I've experienced such incredible growth and transformation. So I love to work with women who have no network marketing experience, but they're in a time of transition in their life. They're either getting ready to retire or they're becoming empty nesters, and they're looking for another purpose, something to share, a mission to be on to help others to reach this optimal state of wellness as well. So I am Elisa St. George with Lifeway Wellness Technology, and I don't binge watch either. We amen to getting rid of the TV. We got rid of cable when our kids were young because we could no longer control it. So I'd say like 15 years ago now. But when I think of binging, it's mindset work for me. So every time I walk the dogs, every time I'm in the car, every time I'm exercising, I'm listening to Esther Hicks and mindset, positive thinking.
Beautiful. Colleen, you have your hand up.
I do, and I'm going to try to, I lowered it. Look at that. I'm tricky. I just want to tell everybody that I also host a Monday morning coffee chat, and I have a co-host every week. So what I try to do is just get people from different businesses. If your business would be interesting to my audience, which is midlife women. And so Keith, even though you're not a woman, I know this very clearly, even though you're not, you could sell to my clients, right? And so I'm always looking for co-hosts for this Monday morning coffee chat. And what you do is you just bring your idea and you share it along with a lead magnet so that you can collect email addresses. We do it on Zoom because, as we know, Facebook's ever changing and we do not count on Facebook. So it's a Zoom meeting, and then I will post the replay in the group. And we don't have a ton of people show up for the actual coffee chat because I did it when it's convenient for me, but we do get anywhere from 60 to 150 people that go through and grab emails. So, or grab your lead magnet. So anybody that falls in that category that wants to come co-host with me, I will drop the link to get started in the chat.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Mark Bartosik.
I'm here. Okay, the connection's having a little trouble today, but I'll start with the binging matter. As far as for Deanna, who mentioned Nathan Filroy, I always encourage people to binge Castle. Was a favorite of my dad's. It's a TV show of my it's a favorite of my dad's, so I've been watching some of that. I am the ultimate binger. I've binged Supernatural all 15 seasons within a month before, so I'm actually re-binging that a little bit. It's more like I have it playing on in the background while I'm doing work on my computer because it's just always having to have something on the TV as like background noise. So yes, it's like most TV shows you mentioned. Like, yeah, I've seen a lot of those. As far as the fun thing with the Pope, there is actually a cardinal in Chicago that is named Mark Bartosik. The difference being that his last name ends with a C instead of a K. But it was funny when my parents saw it in the pamphlet, the bulletin, my name. It's like when did Mark become a bishop? Yeah, or cardinal. Anyway, just for the news of the day. For a business that I do, I work with Ambit Energy, helping people to save and make money through their electric and gas bills. So simply put, every time you pay your electric or gas bill, somebody gets paid. So why not let that someone be you? If you're not interested in the business opportunity and making extra income on the side of what you're already currently doing without adding a lot of extra time. I do have to caveat that with a lot of people think that it's like, oh, I don't have time to start another business. It's like, no, average person in this business puts in no more than 15 to 30 minutes a day. Or if you really want to do full time, it's 15 to 20 hours a week. And even that is still like, that's really overdoing it for the average. For customers, people say like, oh, I don't have time to be signed up as a customer. I'm like, it takes 10 minutes to sign up as a customer. I'm not sure how other things take for all this other stuff. It's not like auto insurance and everything. You can sign up as a customer at no cost. It costs nothing to become a customer. It costs nothing to be a customer. It costs nothing even if you want to cancel from being a customer. And you can always do that on my website at it's mark.joinambit.com. You can type in your zip code, see your rates, see your plans. Anyone in Chicagoland, I highly encourage you to do that right now because June 1st, ComEd is raising their rate 20%. And Ohio, for anyone out there, your rate in Ohio is going up about 2 or 3 cents come June 1st as well. Basically, electric companies know that summer's coming around, so they're raising their rates because they know you'll figure, oh, it's just the summer and the AC's just costing us more money. It's like, yeah, that's part of it, but they do that at that time so you don't notice. If you want to calculate your rates, anything you want to know with electricity and your gas bills, give me a call. You can reach me at 773-370-2748. I've lived in Chicago my entire life of 33 years. I haven't had a job or a boss for going on 10 years now. I've been doing Ambit for going on 10 years now. So I'm not the person who's going to, what are they, is the come and goes or the run and bait and switches or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm here to stay. And Lynn can tell you the stories on that when we first met. Is like, so I've been being the consistent person through the years. So you'll always have me here for you on answering any of your energy, electricity, and gas needs for that. And turn it back to you, Lynn.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Ken Dietschy. She is wonderful. She brings some wonderful guests with her to this meeting, and we just love the people that she brings. So, Ken, you are up.
Thank you, Lynn. And yeah, I'll try to bring more people that I like to this group because I like this group a lot. And I'm Ken. I'm from the Philippines, but I live right now in Cambodia. I'm a virtual assistant and a social media manager, and I work with coaches, small business owners, and entrepreneurs that needs help with their admin, tech, and social media contents. And for the TV show, so I just finished watching the geographic documentary about 9/11, and right now I'm starting watching and actually finished season 1, almost finished with Fargo. So it's not a new, but I haven't watched it, and I find it a bit interesting. So yeah, so that's the one I was like recommended, and yeah, so I tried to watch it, and there's like some funny scenes there that I find a little dark, but I like it.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Deanna, would you like to share with everyone about the book club?
If I can get myself unmuted, absolutely. So we are reading a great book in book club right now. It's called High Road Leadership by John Maxwell. This week we're actually doing chapter 11. So next week is our last week reading this book, which is really exciting because for those of you that are part of the Facebook group, you'll know that there is a poll up in the Facebook group right now that closes tomorrow to vote on our next book. So this is the perfect time to get involved. We meet every Friday at 11 p.m. Central in a Google Meets room, and that link is always available through the Facebook group Lionheart Business Owners Book Club. We would love to have you guys. We have a blast every week. We let our hair down. We talk about business stuff. We talk about personal stuff, and we just get to be people with each other. It's great. We would love to have y'all come and join us.
It is wonderful, guys. We all talk about business all the time when we're on here. It's so nice to get to know a lot of you outside of business and see what kind of people you actually are. Fred McMurray, you've been so very quiet today, but what have you been binge watching?
K-Fred Prime Live. What else? So just a reminder, listeners can dial in at 1-724-957 Dear God, 4733, or the way I remember it, 1-724-9-KPH-RED.
Wonderful. Thank you much. Okay, guys, this is the part of the show where I allow you guys, I put you all in some breakout rooms so you all know a little bit about each other now. I will let you stay in there a little bit longer today, so you can't complain that I'm going to pull you out too soon. So with that said, the rooms are all open. You may
Interesting, folks. Well, we'll have to get out of this room because, if we run away to Lynn, then it is that way.
Recording in progress.
Now we're back to where Lynn is. There we go. Oh, interesting. Weird things going on today, folks. Weird things going on.
There we go. Everybody's in their rooms. That's good. Excellent. Okay, so what's new in K-Fred land?
So We are Jeff Norris of TCG Solutions and the tech team was finally able to get around a whole bunch of issues and get our station updated to the newest levels of the software, which is a wonderful thing. We're now troubleshooting through all of the issues caused by the software upgrade, and there are a few, as we ran into a couple at the beginning of this show, but that moves forward. Our interns are graduating, but from what I'm told, at least some of them are going to continue to be involved, and we'll be having intern student shows, which will be kind of cool. We are working on more software fixes and improvements, as well as once all they get done, we expect to finally, after the whole year of being on Apple and being on iHeartRadio and Pandora and a bunch of the others, we're hoping that by the end of this month, we'll finally be on Spotify. So there's been this issue there, and we've been troubleshooting it and had to get software done. So that's hopefully coming up. On a new show front, Healing Steps of Wellness, pre-recorded their second episode yesterday. So it's going to be released next week. My partner, Michelle Rempel, co-host of K-Fred California Pulse, pre-recorded the next episode of that show, which will come out, and that's news and information in California. That'll come out, I think it's next Tuesday. That said, the next episode of that, which will be another interview with the mayor of Grover Beach, where K-Fred is located, is happening next week, so that one will go out the following week. So K-Fred California Pulse is really pulsing.
Is there a lot going on in California these days?
There's always a lot of news and information going on there, and a whole lot of it gets overwhelmed by some would call it mainstream media, some would call it legacy media. I'll call it the BS media that wants everyone to scream at each other rather than discussing. Because I'm sorry, I look at all the media out there, and corporate media is doesn't matter which broadcast platform you're on, they're screaming, they're dividing people, and that's not what we want to try to do here at K-Fred. Our goal is to facilitate discussion and build community.
Discussion, right?
Yeah, and that builds community.
You always have to have the same views on everything, but you ought to be willing to just listen, because maybe through listening, you learn some things that make you feel a little bit differently about something, or you begin to understand the other person much more.
Exactly. Because guess what? Opinions change, even facts change. If we haven't seen that in the last 4 or 5 years, you've been blind. So we wanted to have a way to get news out of what's going on. And, my interview on Friday will be the third interview I've had with the mayor. And it's not partisan. We don't talk about Democrats. We don't talk about Republicans. We talk about what's going on in Grover Beach and how it's affecting people. And what's
Grover Beach?
In Grover Beach.
How big is Grover Beach?
There's about 13,000 in the community. Now, okay. I also know by putting the show posts out on Nextdoor, I know the last post I did hit close to 20% of the community.
Wow.
And again, nobody outside of maybe San Luis Obispo County cares about what's going on in Grover Beach, but K-Fred does. We live here. And being able to get the word out to the other residents of the town is our way of paying things back. And it's a way of getting it out of the partisan media. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's a partisan media. And I remember the one platform used to be We Report, You Decide, where now it's We Decide, You Scream. And so the KFRED California Pulse was a way of, since Tess Booker's a show host, and she's in San Diego, Barbara Wainwright's in Orange County, Gene Gallagher is in Auburn up by Sacramento, Francis Esters is in North County of San Luis Obispo. So we got a bunch of hosts in California, and I wanted to be able way to have a show that would be able to talk about what's going on in California. And ultimately, we'll probably build multiple shows like this in various states, but California's starting right now. And Healing Steps to Wellness has gotten its second episode pre-recorded. Working on the third one, hopefully this Friday, so that's coming on live. And by the end of this month, we should have what I call business success principles with Dr. Jim Trelevin, or Dr. J and PH Red will be writing. We may spice up the title a bit because there are those who say the title's kind of boring.
Okay.
But that one, that show is going to be the basis of a book with Jim and myself that we're writing. So I'm very pumped about starting a new show that becomes a book.
Very interesting. You know, everybody's going to be here in 20 seconds.
I kind of figured that. So I just will remind our listeners, 1724 9KPHRED or 1724 957 4733 is the dial-in number.
I left them all in there for a couple of extra minutes, and
Okay, listen, I wasn't done speaking. Tanner, a good
magnet.
Still too short, Lynn. Still too short. Okay.
It
really,
was too short,
I left you guys in here a couple extra minutes, and I'd drag you out again.
Okay, listen, Tanner, a good lead magnet is one where somebody hops on a one-on-one call with you, because then you get the opportunity to sell them on whatever you're doing. You know, if you do a short consult with them for free. So anyways, I was just talking to him about the coffee chat, telling him to make sure he brings a lead magnet. And yes, it's going to be on the coffee chat co-host, I think on the 19th. Is that right, Ken?
Yes, we're going to do it on the 19th.
Yes, so that'll be fun.
Beautiful. Well, okay, guys, I'll leave you in there a little bit longer for this time so you can all finish.
Okay.
Colleen has become the new Jam. Every time
he's not here.
I know, but every time he comes back from these rooms, he says, I was in the middle of a sentence. And that's the first thing Colleen said. I said, oh, no, it's a Jam comment. So, guys, the rooms are all open. I hope you've got somebody new and beautiful to talk to again.
Where is Jam today?
I don't know. He's probably sleeping.
I'd like to be
Let's
sleeping.
Go where everybody else is. Okay, Deanna's she's got to get into her room. There she goes. She's not going to like it. She's with Jaya.
It'll be a fun discussion.
True, that's true. So do we need a Pope channel now that we're going to have a Pope that might have started out in Chicago? Are we going to have somebody who can keep us updated on what's going on with the Pope?
So it's going to be interesting to see who has more power, Tony Preckwinkle or the Pope.
Let's see.
Because normally I'd say it's the mayor, but the current mayor, Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle has more power in the city, I think, than the current mayor does. That's
the current mayor is probably not going to be the current mayor for long.
Well, from what I've heard of his approval rating, yeah, he doesn't seem to be.
Now, do we know?
Huh?
It was in the teens, his approval rating. Where's it at now?
I don't know. It's one of those things that I haven't, now I saw it was something like 17% a while back.
Have you ever had anybody go to single digits or the negative?
I don't know. Back in when I was growing up and a man named Daley was in office for 60 years, the only way to get him out of there was if they died. Although,
that's it.
Well, the younger one, Daley the younger, he left office. He retired, although...
But he definitely wasn't his father.
No. Then again, my thought was if he stayed in office, there might have been they got to Mike Madigan. You never thought they'd touch Madigan, and they got to Madigan.
I was shocked when I heard that. Didn't they get to Madigan's daughter as well?
I think so. That was when he went. He was bulletproof, untouchable, and they got to him. And so that makes me wonder how long before the feds get to the Pope then.
That's true. You never know. So what else is new, Fred McMurray?
It's just been running around.
Like different types of programs that will be coming, like people can look forward to some sports programming. That's going to be different.
So actually, I was talking to Jim Trelevin earlier today on this, and he's almost done teaching for the semester and grading papers. As he told me by next week, he'll have all kinds of free time. And I said, no, you won't, because I got a long list. But he did tell me that so far in the new upcoming sports program, he has solidified support from the former athletic director of Yale University's women's athletics.
Excellent.
So it's going to be a really interesting show. I will, of course, have to produce it, which will end up breaking a long-standing rule I've had on Jim, which was no talking about sports for the first 50 minutes of a meeting, because he would take all of it. Now it's going to be all sports, so I'm still wondering how I'll survive. For those who are listening, it's not that I hate sports. It's that after I saw the Bulls win the second three-peat, I didn't care. After I saw the Bears lose to the Colts in 2007, I quit caring. After the Sox won the World Series in 2005, I quit caring. And not that I ever cared about the Cubs, but at least once the Cubs finally won, then we knew we wouldn't have to worry about them winning again for another 100 years. So I really don't care about sports. Why am I watching other people become millionaires playing kids games when I could be out doing my own stuff? So it's not that I don't like sports. It's just there's better things to do.
All right, that's good.
But
what else you got on your plate?
We got, like I said, there's at least one, maybe two sports shows coming. I'm told that we've been working on getting speech to text transcription for the station. And one of our interns, while I have not seen it, is telling me he's been able to accomplish that. So if he has, hopefully by the end of this month, you'll be able to see a button on the front of the KFred site that when you hit will transcribe what's being played. So literally we will have deaf-enabled the radio station, which according to Karen Putz of Life Part 2, who is deaf, it's her belief will be the only internet radio station and one of a handful of any types of radio stations that offer this type of transcription.
Very good, very good. I know that I had a brief text with Chris Pratt this morning, and he would like to have a conversation. He says he has a little more clarity into what's going on, which makes it easier for him to understand health-wise what he's dealing with. So I'm curious to find out what that is, and maybe then I'll have answers for you a little bit more about where he's heading. And I pray that it's very positive. I pray for him quite often.
So when I was up in Rochester, Minnesota at the 2005 Health and Wellness Community Symposium put on by Rochester Clinic and the Lotus Health Foundation, I will tell you, I could have seen him either being on the stage as a speaker or being in the audience, because it seemed like I heard the words cancer, menopause, Alzheimer's, all the dementia, all these words, all the speakers we're talking about. One of the gentlemen that we're going to end up getting interviewed and we'll see, may become a show host, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 15, 20 years ago. And ended up going off the meds because the meds were really whacking him out. And the regime or regimen he started following, he has had no symptoms since he went off the meds. And if you have there's a what I'll call a major version and a minor version of it. And I've been told that if you've got the major version, if you're still walking, and he wasn't for a bit, but if you're still walking after 5 years, you've got the minor version. And if you aren't working, it's not fun. My father-in-law passed away from it. So his story is moving, but I'm looking forward to Chris coming back, because with all the health shows we got, and I think there's, besides the Healing Steps to Wellness, we have at least 3 more in the pipeline on health and wellness.
What happened to Chris?
Wait a second. Elisa, was there someone in your room with you part of the time?
Yeah, Mark dropped off like after the first minute or two.
Oh, maybe he was having connection problems. I'm so sorry. I didn't notice that until too later. I would have put you in another room with someone. I want to make sure you're having a good time. Chris Pratt has had some serious challenges health-wise, and I did get a message from him that he now has some information from the doctors, so he's better understanding what's going on now, so that's very positive. You know, guys, you all get over here and you come to these meetings, and then you get in my heart, and I get attached to all of you. So I want you all to eat your vegetables and go to the bathroom regularly and get enough sleep and get some exercise and do all the stuff you can, because I'm just wearing out from praying for people here. So I need you all to stay healthy for a little while. Put some of that skin so soft on you so you don't get chewed up by the bugs, and then you'll get sick from that too. I don't want that happening. So, Deanna, I'm hoping, we have a little bit of time where we really do an open discussion now for the end of the meeting. But, Deanna, I wanted you to share about that show that your husband has been watching, because years ago, I was exposed to that show when I came out to the East Coast to visit my kids, and I got so hooked on it. It was so different, and I loved it. So, Deanna, why don't you share with them what that is?
Well, I will preface by saying that my husband is a little bit of a survivalist nut. He loves all of that going out into the woods and figuring it out on your own stuff. And so he's been binge watching Alone now for about 3 weeks. You might be surprised that he's in like season 6 after 3 weeks. So he's legitimately, 7, excuse me. He's legitimately binging it. But he's absolutely loved it. They take somebody and they take 10 people and they drop them out in the middle of the wilderness. They get to take 10 items with them and a whole bunch of the camera equipment, and then they film themselves just setting up a house and learning how to hunt and getting in tune with the area that they're in. It's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
It's really, you will get hooked immediately on this.
And if
absolutely phenomenal.
If you don't like the idea of somebody going out on their own, season 4 is totally a couples thing where they pair them up with a family member and drop both of them out in the wilderness and make one of them hike 10 miles to the other. It's hysterical.
It really is very interesting. I mean, it's shocking. I get scared for some of them. Some of them were not in cold places, but they would be in their tent and you could hear wild animals, not little squirrels. You could hear them outside of the tent, and I was nervous for them, and I thought I couldn't go to sleep knowing that animal was looking and smelling to eat me.
Yeah, no matter where they drop them, they always drop them about a month before winter starts. And so it's always harrowing seeing how they're going to survive.
It's sad watching them have to learn how to fish. I mean, they don't have fishing poles and bait and stuff like that, but they have to learn how to survive. It's incredible the things they've done. Oh, Lord. Anyway, that was very good. So, guys, what would you like to discuss today? What is going on with all of you guys in your businesses? Nobody has a challenge? Nobody has anything they need help with? Oh my goodness, this is a perfect group. You all have tons of money. You have tons of clients. It's absolutely wonderful. Nobody wants to take a weekend off. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay,
good. Yay, Elisa. Give us something good.
I'll jump in. So because so many people are joining LifeWave and sharing the technology, and because I feel so strongly about changing women's lives, women who are like me, I am struggling with finding that demographic of person. You know, a woman in her 50s, 60s, in transition, looking for more, like someone who says the next chapter of my life should be better than the last. I've got so much more life to live. I want adventure and fun, and I want to continue learning and growing and meet new people. And to me, it feels like an elusive group of people. And I'm looking for suggestions of where could I find women like that?
You know, first of all, Lisa, I'm going to come to Mark in just 1 minute, but there must be something wonderful about these LifeWave patches, because not only do you believe in them, Elizabeth does and offers them, and so does Ann Mackey, which Ann Mackey, you were gone so long, I started calling you Mackey again. See, you got to get back there. So it's not even a tough name. I think I'm just old. But the fact that there are 3 of you that I really admire, that trust that, tells me there's something that many people should at least take a look at and listen. Because these are not stupid women. These are smart, educated women who are looking at it and seeing something very good. So does anyone here? Oh, Tanner has ideas. Tanner.
Yeah, I would start with who you have already, like, I'm guessing that you already have some clients, but where did you get those clients? There tends to be, I know for myself, where I've gotten a few, I've really leaned back into that. And that's kind of digging in deeper to where you've already found some clients. I think is always I think proof of concept and evidence is always a good place to start if you haven't already done that. Man, these, and just spitballing, you know, if you don't mind me sharing, but these, I've also had success with, like there's like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I use that tool a lot. You can get really specific on the type of person that you're looking for. And because if you have, it sounds like you have an ideal client, which makes it in such a broad world that really helps. But just finding out, like, if you want to do the online, you seem really personable. So if there's like an in-person group, one of my clients does LifeWave, And we've had a lot of success with doing like an event where we just invited a ton of people. That was pretty much my job for it. Was I just invited people like crazy, and getting people to show up and give interest. Because if you're looking, if I understand the business concept, like you make a lot of money when you sign people up to LifeWave, and if you can get them to get to the initial meeting, I'm saying like you're like all the things you were saying earlier, but maybe just doing an event like once a quarter, and then maybe once or twice a week, just really finding where you can invite people and hammering those out. Because if you can get them to the event, they're way easier to turn over to the next step of like actually being committed. Because if they don't show up to the event, chances are they're not going to want to.
Right. Is that something I could work with you on? Because, you know, it's exhausting going out because I'm networking multiple times a week. I'm probably in front of 50 people a week. But I would love to be able to get people to an event. That's the hard thing, right? People want to listen. People think it's great, but moving them to the next step of taking action is.
Yeah. I'll just give you my calendar and then we'll just chop shop
Thank
from
you
there.
so much.
But yeah, it sounds
The
great.
people I have gotten have just been like divinely led. You know, there's no particular pattern that I see other than the right person drops in at the right time, and I'm like, where'd they come from? So I know it's a lot of praying, maybe.
And is there anybody behind you in line? That's what you want to know, Elisa. And
what'd you say, Lynn? Sorry.
I said, and is there anybody else in line behind that person who just dropped in?
Right.
Oh, and before I come to you, let me run to Mark Anthony real quick. Go ahead, Mark.
I found that when I gave talks at rec centers, that a lot of ladies from that demographic were in my classes. So that's a huge thing. I don't know what your city's demographics are, but you could do talks at rec centers, talks at libraries, that sort of thing. I'm giving a speech at every library in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts this year, and that demographic shows up. So it could be hey, can I if you write a book, right? Even if you write a short book, whatever, publish it with anything but Amazon, and I have recommendations for that. But publish a little book and call up a library and you say, can I give an author talk? And when you say that key word, a librarian taught me that key term. When I call up and say author talk, they go, oh, of course, I know what that means.
Beautiful. And
I was just going to make the suggestion too that I think it's a good thing to look for communities that are 55 and up. So you're looking at people who are active seniors that maybe they have events and they have people come and talk and all that. You can just offer to be a speaker at those places. That's a good way to do it. And also join Facebook groups. Like find kind of do a search on Facebook and find groups that are women 50 and over, 55 and over that are active and they exercise and all of that. Also physical fitness trainers, to offer to speak to a group of like someone who has a private gym or they have something like that. Just invite yourself in to be a speaker if they're looking for speakers. That kind of thing puts you in front of more of the people that are who you're looking for.
I want to piggyback on what Ann just said about the 55 and over community, because when I was doing my networking events in person in Illinois, I obviously had such a huge group of people that I knew everywhere. And I had come in contact with the presidents of 55 and over homeowner communities, and some were extremely large. And if you go in and have a conversation with them, go take a bag of donuts and coffee or something, go in and sit down and have a long conversation with them. Many of them have a print magazine in color that goes into the mailbox of every single home in the community. And if they know that you will do an upcoming event for them, and I would preface this, Elisa, because here's what I did. I took someone in that did Social Security information, somebody who did Medicare information, and then some people who did insurance and benefit information. And I made it a panel discussion that was going to be had and give them a little blurb about it. And what they did is they put photos of each of us, the names of our businesses, and they advertised for a month in advance in that color magazine that was going in every single homeowner's box. And by the time we got there, they had to keep bringing in more and more and more tables for people to be able to get answers. So I think if you have topics, if you align yourself with some people that have similar types of topics, I wouldn't have them all be health and wellness. If you're going to be health and wellness, keep that area for yourself, but align yourself with some other things that you think women of that, or men even of that age, would be interested in hearing. And then, little suggestion, I ran off to Costco and got trays of sandwiches and fruit and cookies. When you split it amongst 4 of you and a couple of cases of water, you know, I hate to say it, but those communities, you put out something to eat and they come like locusts. They all want to get that free something to eat. And that's what we did. And we had crowds like you wouldn't believe. And once you get in one community, they know the people who run other communities, and then you will just start piggybacking around. Fred.
Yeah, I just want to tell the new listeners that I see on the station that you can dial in with questions at 724-957-4733. That's 724-957-4733 or 1-724-9K-FRED. I've just been watching visitors or listeners collect at the station, so I just wanted to get that out while they still have time to call.
That's good. So, Elisa, let's go back to you for one more second now. Since you are looking for people who may be listening, who may have contacts that could get you started in those types of communities, can you let them know where you're located and give them some contact information if they're interested?
Sure. Thanks so much, Lynn. Melissa St. George. I'm in Southern Connecticut. I can be reached at 860-205-3385 or at Alisa, ALISA, at Adding Value, VALU, drop the E.com. Thank you so much for everyone's suggestions.
Elisa, I might also add that if you talk to these people who run those communities, you might offer 2 options. One option, an in-person event, and the second option being that they could do a Zoom event like this for people that may not be able to get out, or you may find people, let's use Connecticut as an example, that may travel to a summer location but still want to be able to get the information. And so having 2 options and 2 dates might be very, very beneficial for you. And this is for any of you that are on here. Anne?
Takes me a minute to unmute. It just, that occurred to me that I never shared my phone number when I was speaking earlier. May I do that? Sure. So similarly, for the same communities, for obviously LifeWave for them, I do LifeWave as well, but more for the skinny drops. As we age is when we're putting on that weight because our hormones change. And that's another, I could do presentations and talks as well to the 55 and up active senior community. So my number, you can reach out by text or phone, is 316-680-8611. And that's related to the skinny drops and holistic products that help people with their health as they're aging. So that's all. Thank you.
Now all of my brain's going crazy. So if I were sitting in a room with all of you right now, I would be grabbing the 3 of you that do the LifeWave patches, and I would put you all together and say, listen, I think Elisa only does the LifeWave patches. Is that correct, Elisa? Anne does those skinny drops, and Elizabeth, she does everything under the sun, and her voice is so calming. I would tell the 3 of you, even now, knowing that you are all in 3 different areas of the country, I don't know why the 3 of you are not doing that very same premise and do Zooms together, but let Elisa continue to do the LifeWave patches, and Anne, you do the skinny drops, and Elizabeth, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, spin the wheel and pick any of those wonderful other things you do. I think you women could be a powerhouse doing that together. And again, because you're spread all over, I know Elisa was just in Florida recently, but that's where Elizabeth's at, and Anne is in Kansas. Is that right? You guys could do very, very well. And if you need tips on how to put that together, I would be glad to guide you. Yay.
Can I interject here a little bit? I think you guys
Colleen.
should.
Oh, Colleen's the answer, man. She got everything.
I don't, but I'm just going to give you an answer anyways. Are y'all on Alignable? Go on Alignable and do this. Take your trio on Alignable and host a networking and go around and do it. You can do it virtually there with the three of you. And you can do it on the free one, I think.
Lisa's going to be sad she hasn't been here in a while because we're going to.
Alignable is a really good platform for networking. If anybody's not using that, you ought to get on it.
If you're not on Alignable, why don't you put that information that you're not on Alignable in the chat? And Colleen, I'll get that information to you from all those names, and you can connect them all. Fred.
So the question is how to get people to talk to you? Is that the question? I guess I've never had that problem. I just go up and ask people if they want to be on a podcast.
It's to reach, to communicate with people who are your ideal clients, who are wanting to use natural solutions, technology and solutions for health as they age.
So in other words, if you walk up to them and say, can I talk to you about all this stuff? They kind of say, you're boring, go away, you're as bad as Deanna talking about marketing. I love you, Deanna.
Deanna, you're going to have to smack him.
Why? Because Deanna...
I have to go to California to do that.
And she doesn't do that anymore. She just goes up and says, would you like to be on Neurodivergent News? And amazing thing happens. People talk to her then. So this whole thing of not knowing how to get people to talk to you, I don't know. I just, like I said, I go out and ask if they'd like to be on a podcast. And 85% of them say, please, when can we talk? That's all I got to say.
I agree. And a second that when you're doing podcasts with somebody else, I'm not sure how many of these you guys have done, but like when you come on my coffee chat, I start getting all my promo material ready and I send it over to you. And then I expect that you will send it out to your audience. You will send it by email. You will send it on your stories on social media. You will make a snap or a post about it, however you want to do it. And I also do it to my audience. And I'm saying, hey, look, join us for Monday Morning Coffee Chat. We've got Elisa coming on and we're talking about skinny drops. And if you've ever wanted to know about skinny drops and get the lowdown on it or what to do about I totally promo it out there for 3 days to get people to come. Now, people might not show up for the actual event because I did pick a wacky time, but they do come back and get your lead back to get your thing. But every time that you say yes to a podcast or to being on a coffee chat, it borrows their audience. So check out their audience. Like my audience is midlife women, 40, 45 and above. Perfect audience for you ladies. Perfect place for you to be promoting your product. And it's not something that I do, so I'm all about sharing that with you. And also when I promo mine, I moderate in groups of about 165,000 people, and I post in all of those up until that to find those people that would be interested. So I'm not just promoting it on my personal Instagram. I'm not just promoting it on my personal LinkedIn. I'm going into all the groups I moderate on and I'm sharing the hell out of it. So everybody knows what you're doing. So you may have to get over being a little bit shy or holding back a little bit about jumping in and saying, get me on your podcast or when can you fit me in, but get on it.
Yeah.
And that's why I bring Colleen here.
And this might be about to sound like a plug, but that's one of the great things about K-Fred is if you come and be a show host on K-Fred, we actually teach you how to do all of that. So it's really fun.
I probably need to learn that because I was just born with the gift of gab. Nobody ever taught me jack.
Mark Anthony.
Pod match.
Pod match?
Pod match. So if you are a podcaster or hope to be a guest on a podcast or both, they have 2 different subscriptions or both, and you show up, hey, I'm a podcaster, hey, I'm a potential guest, and they match you up with, I think it's 5 people a day or whatever, and you say, hey, I want to meet this person.
There are free groups like that on Facebook too, where you go.
I tried those, and the ones I got were just clutter, but maybe there's good ones. Yeah.
I will say
maybe.
this. There are a couple of those Facebook groups that when I put up an advertisement saying, hey, I'm looking for a show host, I'll get 50 or 60 people that all go, ooh, me, 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 me. But once you start going through the quality of those and the relevance to your show, you get down to like 10, 15 real quick.
Yeah.
Jam finally got up and joined us. And I want you to know that we had a Jam impersonator on here today. He's laughing. I put everybody in their first room and I gave them extra time in their room. And by the time I brought them out, somebody said, wait a minute, I was in the middle of a sentence here. I said, I feel like Jam's in the room. And that would be Colleen.
And then I turned around and messaged Jam on Facebook and went, missing my Jam, where are you?
Yeah, I saw that. So I actually wasn't asleep. I was actually up early this morning, guys. Went to the dentist. Insurance is ass, by the way. Went to go pick up my glasses. By the way, United Healthcare has a mind-blowing experience, okay, by the way. Absolutely mind-blowing if you catch that drift. MetLife is also really weird and shitty. They were like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. You don't need your member ID. Go up to my dentist today. Yeah, you have your member ID? It's like, yo, look, here's my social security, okay? Just go ahead, go search for it, right? And then Jim came home, and then I talked to my client today, and now I'm here. So,
I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. You got to answer our question of the day. What show have you been binge watching lately? And then you got to tell us about you, because we have a new guest on here, Tanner DeWitt, who has not been here before.
Well, welcome, Tanner. So let's just start off with some AI news. Actually, some really very important news, actually. Apple, this may not affect many of you, but this is going to probably improve a lot of the people that use Apple. Apple recently got a big no-no or a big FU to, what's it called? For essentially blocking people from being able to use a different payment processor on Apple, right? Because basically what happens is, and yes, I know it's so amazing, Mark Anthony, you have no clue how happy I am. The reason why this is very important is because what happened is that they would
business, please.
Huh?
Are they going out of business?
No, not yet. They have too much cash flow. But what happened is that this is gonna sound so funny. The CEO of Fortnite started this legal battle with them for the last 4 years, basically, trying to get them to remove the ability so that way people can actually, if they want to, process their own payments on Apple, on their app stores. That wasn't allowed. Apple forced you to use their system, and then they took a whole bunch of money. And I know this firsthand because I have an app on both app stores called Grocery List that saves you so much time, by the way. Go ahead and go take a look at that. And while you're at it, it's so great. You can scan your groceries with your phone, the barcode, and your husband can never say he forgot about the groceries. You're gonna love it. But on with AI though. OpenAI can now not get to convert itself into a for-profit company, so that's amazing. That's another win. Because if you guys didn't know, they were trying to change themselves from a non-profit to a for-profit company, and that got shut down, so that's not going to be happening. Although they are positioning themselves to be global, by the way, which is, again, like I say, this is very important because with the Stargate project and many of these different AI models recently coming out, they're trying to position themselves to be the global leaders, right? But I want you guys to know there is alternatives to ChatGPT. There's Perplexity, there's Meta, there's Gemini, there's Minstrel, not like the menstrual cycle, which I'm still slowly learning about, by the way, guys. It's very interesting, by the way. Very interesting how women work. But it's French, though, so it's not spelled the same. I'll put all this in the chat. And then there's obviously Claude. So there's always going to be different AI models for you guys to try. They're all different in what they can do, and they're always getting constantly updated. So don't ever think that ChatGPT is the only thing you guys can use, right? But I have some really cool videos for you guys because I know you guys love those. Because this is this is very interesting. So let me share my screen. Screen 3. All right, perfect. So obviously, we all know how the quality is going to be. Surprising, this is actually going to go to 1080p. So this is with Luma. Luma AI is a video AI service. They have free options, but you can only do that up to 720p. But if you just take a look at this video for a second,
Yeah,
the
we
raw
tell him
detail
not
in
to do videos because listeners can't see it.
the
but he
consistency
still
has gotten a
does.
lot more improved. Now, obviously, the faces are a little bit all messed up here, but the ability that it has now to really create a scene is getting better, right? Now, obviously, you can tell a lot of this is AI, right? I mean, for example, I don't know if you guys noticed, that just floated into her hand, by the way, as well as that cup, right? But I want to show you guys something a little bit more interesting. This person is not real, by the way. This is just a 9-second clip. This person isn't real. This apartment isn't real. Those photos in the background isn't real. This is all generated with AI.
And you
Looks
can
very creepy, right? But this is the improvements AI is making. And again, as I've told you guys before, be on the lookout for a lot of this type of stuff, right? Because I could take this exact video, make it where she's saying something, running an ad, make it where she's saying something political or non-political, and people would believe it. And that is a very scary thing to think about. So no matter which side you want to be on, if you want to treat this like it's high school, right? Doesn't matter. This is very important that everybody needs to know because this affects everyone. Here is a short little trailer I'll play that another AI made recently. Won't play the whole thing, but I will say it does need a lot of work, but the fact that it's getting consistency with the way that with the driving, the walking's a little bit better, right? This is vast improvements right now. Obviously, it needs to fix its face because, for example, what you'll notice, um, it always tries to either overcompensate and it saturizes like people's face. So always look in the like specifically, I forget what you call this area here, but the nasal area when looking at AI videos because you'll usually notice that like it feels very fake there, or it looks like there's like almost like a filter, right? If anybody's used a filter here. So always be on the lookout for that. But that's just really interesting movie trailer, all the cool AI news.
Why did it look like she was driving on the right side of the car at one point and driving on the left side of the car in one of the other?
That is the thing I'm talking about right there, is the consistency in noticing those little details. Because what you'll notice is that a lot of the AI, it'll get the first few scenes right, and like she's driving on like, the left side, but then as it goes into another scene, it forgets what it just did in that previous scene, and you end up seeing her like on the right side of the car, like
I would not normally notice those things, except you taught us to look for all those details.
What was that question again, by the way? What was the question of the day?
The question of the day is, what show have you been binge watching lately?
None, actually. I have been hard at work creating my AI tool. That's what I've been doing. I don't know if courses count, but like I've been binge watching a lot of courses. Like that's kind of what I do for fun. I just, watch a whole bunch of courses. That's like
Get in line.
As in the Derby?
No, just like techie courses about like building products or like really
courses, Ann.
Yeah,
I heard the H. Horses. I was like, the Kentucky Derby. Why not?
He just went to the dentist. That's why he talks funny today.
Speaking of the Derby, did anyone hear that every horse that competed recently was a direct descendant of
Secretariat? No, I didn't know that.
It was really weird. Every horse in the race was descended from him.
I didn't know that.
That's kind of cool. By the way, everyone,
what was the name of the winner?
That I don't know.
Sovereign.
Yes,
Sovereign.
And it beat two horses back was media or journalists or whatever.
Right. Journalism.
Is there anything a little bit weird about that?
Yeah, kind of interesting.
The names of the horses are telling you a story.
Yep, sovereignty.
It's coming.
All right, guys. We only have 5 minutes left. Anybody have anything interesting they want to share?
I put my Instagram there. You guys will probably end up seeing this, but I'm on day 37 of me posting every single day, guys, until Jam Jam becomes a millionaire or a billionaire. So go ahead and go tell all your grandkids, all your kids.
What's the status of your course?
The status.
Not horse, but your course.
Adding some more updated videos, considering all the changes that are happening. Specifically, like something I haven't really mentioned, but there's a lot of things you guys are going to see that are like AI agents, as we've like talked about before, and some of us like in private calls, where basically the AI is just going to just go out and do something, and they're a little bit tricky because there's some you have to be careful with because they will just, as like Fred's mentioned, right, like in our last conversation last week, this was very interesting. There's going to be AI shopping agents that will go out and shop for you, right? And Fred brought up a very good point. If that AI goes out and spends, right, $16 million that you don't have, who's at fault, right? Which is very, like, good question, right? But something that's, interesting. And so before I go and go, hey guys, go use this AI agent or this AI agent, I'm going to go and actually confirm that it actually works and that there's actually some type of, I don't know, humility to it and not just some crony capitalist. So
I can tell you who's at fault. The gobshite that sent out AI to shop for them.
Yeah. That's a good point too. I don't know. I think it's really weird. Look, respect to everybody. If you guys are going to have your AI go out and shop for you, go for it. But me personally, I'm going to do my own shopping, okay? And this is coming from a techie, all right? Like, robots all up here, I'm going to do my own shopping. Shoot, Mark.
Notice how the tech guys are the ones who say we don't trust this stuff because we know what it does. So take a hint from that. Actually, I just posted a link. This guy contacted me the other day. He wrote a book exposing the AI algorithms. The whole point of Facebook and YouTube and all of that is to keep you addicted. And it does so by showing you stuff that it knows you like. So actually this guy's PR agent sent me an excerpt of his book and I read it and I was like, okay, wow, this is finally someone else is exposing this stuff.
It's actually interesting. There's this article that came out about Facebook where it would know when a young lady or young woman actually deleted selfies off of their their phone or their galleries, and then it would then start to then send them beauty ads. That's a crazy thing there.
So it's called, I call it the Church of Data. I got to remember to put that in my next book. These guys worship data, even if it doesn't make you money, right? Like I think it was Tanner earlier was talking about, look, does it actually give you results? But everyone in my industry doesn't care about that, right? They just worship data. They worship the accumulation of data for the sake of it.
Which is something that, like I said, to be very cautious of, because the only thing now, like with most of these AIs, they've run out of actual data to collect, right? And they're out of new data, so all they now can really do is now specify or really, really hone in on things. Hence why you see very specific models or very specific AI for specific needs, basically, right? From AI headshots, AI agents, AI tools, they're all very, very honed in on something specific. And the one thing I would say that probably they don't have enough data on is the scanning of people's faces in videos, because that is very scary because they need to improve video AI. So, anyway.
Okay, guys, I think you did a great job. I hope to see all of you back here again next week. I will make sure to get out the thank you with the copy of the chat for everyone. And Keith, I need you to hang around, and Deanna, I need you to hang around.
The teacher.
Right, that's right.
I'm always in trouble.
Been another episode of Lunch with Lynn Live. Sorry about the glitches, folks, but we'll be back next week and even better. Have a great week.